Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak, sitting next to Mike Brenner. This is the NBA Odds Couple Show for April 26th. We got two.
You know what? I'm going to interrupt you right
Go
there.
ahead.
We're both too well dressed for what happened to us last night. We ought to, look at my jeans really kind of show what I'm all about. But Pistol Pete, I don't know about you, but this shit is unacceptable to me. I'm not kidding. One ass whooping once in a while is okay. You know, it's like when you're young, you go to Billy's house, he keeps whooping your ass. I don't want to go to Billy's no more.
Yeah.
Guess what? 0-4 last night for me. You went 1-3.
Yeah, I don't know, but like I said, follow my tweets is what the important thing is.
And did you follow through on that?
Tweeted a second half total, another winner. Now it's 7-2 on my
Okay.
NBA.
So that's
tweets.
really proven to be something that you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, viewers, you heard.
I had the under in the second half under in the OKC game. First half went to I think like 130, and I tweeted at 103. Then it went up to 103.5. I still like the under. Went back down 103, 115.
With that being said, we're going to pan the board, and Pete, you know we don't make excuses, but we cannot help what happens on the field with injuries or on the court. And last night, a lot of shit went down, and what went down was my percentage and Pistol Pete's percentage, 146 and 130. So there were some bloggers that were hoping I would finish under 50%. It's not happening, so don't get too excited. 53% for real. I'm going to dig deep and I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to make some adjustments and I'm going to turn it up. Pistol Pete 80 and 101 at 44%.
And there's some bloggers thinking I was going to go into the 30s, and that's not going to happen.
That ain't happening either.
That's
but you know
not
what?
Gonna
I
happen.
get up, I brush my knees off, Pete. It's the only thing I know to do. So with that being said, I'm fired up because today I got another opportunity to beat the book.
And also, you got another opportunity to rant about Toronto. We only got 2 games, so if you want to take 2 minutes to rant about this team, you can. First game that we're going to analyze, Indiana-Toronto. Now, I did. This is a tricky series because as competitive as the series has been, each game has actually been won by double digits.
Yes.
The spread has not come into play. I did,
and
though.
If you notice one thing, both teams have made major adjustments in those wins.
Yes.
So now it's a chess game. Who's going to do what today? Who's going to step up? Go ahead with that.
It goes back to Toronto. On the opening line, I took Indiana +7 just because I feel like, even though each game has been won by double digits, I feel like they're feeling each other out now. They know what they're going to do. There's the number of adjustments they can make is limited. So I feel
I agree. I agree to that.
A blowout by Toronto could happen, but my sense is that if there is value, it's with Indiana +7.
Ooh, okay. And again, the full game line, it doesn't scare me as far as, I may look to do a teaser or something, but as far as just pulling the trigger on a side, I can't. But I'm not going to rant, but I'm leaning on these guys tonight to help pull me, Mike Brenner, literally out of the abyss from the last couple days. I'm going with Toronto on the first half, -3.5.
Yes.
Are you ready for this one, Pistol?
3.5 and split and 4. Split
I'm going to throw you for a loop. I'm going with them on the first quarter, -2.5. Absolutely, using Toronto in 2 spots right there.
Wow.
Quarter and half. Well, I did my research, and and Toronto, typically through the year, coming off a road loss, going back home, they cover early, they cover often, and with this being the playoffs, they got to step up. DeRozan and Lowry have been getting smothered, literally just smothered. So something's got to change.
And if they break out, obviously it's going to be a different
And I think
story.
they're going to do it early. They're going to come out early, and Indiana's but Indiana's got to be feeling pretty good about the adjustments they've made.
Yes.
So I'm going to actually lean on a team that has hurt me this year, and I don't think they're going to hurt me today. I'm not doing the full game, but I'm taking the first quarter, and I'm taking the half, Pistol Pete, and I'm feeling good about it.
I don't think you're going to lose both those, but if you do, are you going to have anything about Toronto in tomorrow's show?
Tune in, and we will find out because and again, sometimes it's, I wear my emotions on my sleeve. But
yeah, baby.
I take this shit personal, excuse my language, because I do. I physically, actively gamble, and I feed my family on this, and I get pissed off when I lose.
Sure.
But when injuries jump in, that's one thing. But when stupidity plays into the part like it does so many times with so many teams, I get frustrated, Pete, and I kind of put it out there. Maybe a little too heavy, but you know what? Hell with it. I got to do it.
But whose stupidity is that? Is it their stupidity, or is it your stupidity for not anticipating their stupidity?
Well, exactly. Then
there
it's my stupidity. But I will own it when I am stupid. Bottom line, that's it. But
I own that shit every day. Okay. All right, Boston-Atlanta is the second game. Last game went to OT. This is another tricky one. Atlanta, obviously, they're great at home. They have the tools to get a blowout win here. This one, I'm also feeling my way around. I would lean to the under. But
I figured you would.
It's taking a big jump down, though. They opened at 201.5. Now it's down to 198.
Oh my
and
God,
we know in these playoff games, could easily see this one landing on 199. The people who hit the opener will cash, and the people who tailed.
Did you put an overnight in?
No, I did not. I did not bet it. So this is both these games. I think I'm going to have, or I'm not. I'm not saying I think I'm going to have. Both these games are ripe for second half plays.
Okay.
And I will definitely tweet them out if I do go on them.
I wanted to give you a little say so that I got on the totals, and usually you'll ask me, what do you think of that, Mike Brenner? And I don't have a lot to say on the totals, but in doing my research, Atlanta stepped away the last two games from their defensive style.
Yeah.
So I look for them at home tonight
Yeah.
to really, really lock down defensively.
Right.
We already know Boston is that defensive team.
Yeah.
So Brad Stevens, he has inserted the same type of players. The same type of moves in this series have happened in the Toronto series as well. It's a chess match, but I was interested to see your call on the under because I'm personally on my account, I'm putting a unit on the under.
Yeah, I would lean that way. I'm not going to bet it though, although it feels very, very, very ripe for a second half play of some sort.
And that's something you've been red hot on, so I got no room to dispute you, Pistol Pete.
So are you going to make a play on this one for the purpose of our video?
Well, for Atlanta, absolutely. I think
hear
it's a first half gem, -4. All right. This is the same team that was up 28-7 in the first quarter against this team in game one. They owned them in the first half. So I'm banking on them on the first half -4. And guess what, Pistol Pete? I'm pulling the trigger on the first quarter as well.
Wow,
I'm
really?
dipping
What line
into
is
some
that?
quarters here. Well, because it's about momentum now.
Right.
It's about trying to protect the home court. All right, these guys know it's now a 3-game series, so I think they're going to empty it out early. So I got them on the first quarter -2.5.
Wow.
And I grabbed them on the half -4. What do you think of my thoughts there and my, the reasoning?
It makes me. I mean, it's one of those things where, in retrospect, it could be an obviously great call because Atlanta obviously has the talent to explode early.
Okay.
It just makes me nervous.
Okay, but with that being said, do you not? And you don't have to agree. I don't need that.
Yeah.
But don't you? I mean, I realize that this is it. This is playoff time. So home court advantage makes more difference now than in a regular season. Besides like a playoff push. But I really feel it. And last night was a total example of that in a couple other ball games. So
my sense is that there are certainly situations where it can mean less, precisely because of that reason. Because in the playoffs, in the flow of the regular season, teams are more likely to mail it in on the road and take more pride at home. In the regular season, we know there are teams that they can't possibly give 100% every game, so they're more likely to give less than 100% in their road games. But what I do is totals and second halves, and so your record speaks for itself. My record speaks for myself.
But what I also want to say to the viewers is now that we finally got Pistol Pete tweeting, that sounds like a song. But seriously, since we got you doing that, you're producing. So I'm telling the viewers, just like watch these videos, get the edge, and we're going to have our bad days, but we're going to come out on top. Pistol Pete is nailing something on the second half tweet.
These
so please
are
pay
very,
attention
all
to
right.
that.
So Mike Brenner, these are very tough lines. I tell, look, for the purposes of our record keeping these videos, I will give Indiana +7.
Okay. Wow. I'm not going to knock that.
It's just, like I said, they're feeling each other out. At a certain point, you can't make any adjustments, and you're well prepared for what the other team does well.
And I agree, that's all been played out now.
Right.
It's what are we going to do and who are we going to put out on the floor. But also, let's keep in mind there are some nagging injuries a little bit to Atlanta, too. Millsap's got he's banged up a little bit. He's going to play, but he's banged up. Al Horford, all right, he went off the first couple games, had 41 points first two games. He hasn't shown up the last two. He's banged up. So, and also they say Jeff Teague's got a tweaked ankle. So I don't know. It's that time of year where you got to play through that.
Yeah,
so.
for sure.
But I've got 4 plays total, Pistol.
All right, let's review them.
Okay, I'm going with Atlanta on the first quarter -2.5, Atlanta on the first half -4, and I'm going to Toronto land, baby. First quarter -2.5, and Raptors on the first half -3.5. And I'm not kidding you, Pete, and I'm not just saying it because I'm feeling desperate, because you know what? I'm not feeling desperate. I'm fired up, and I'm feeling it, and I'm bouncing back, because that's all I know how to do is just to get up and keep going.
Sounds good, Mike Brenner, and I will give Indiana +7 on the full game. Does that make you nervous? What's your thoughts on that?
I kind of like it. I kind of want to pull the trigger myself, and it's almost like you say sometimes get some balls and pull the trigger on that, but you know what? I just can't. I don't know. Toronto's liable to blow up tonight.
Yeah,
so
very, very interesting games. 2 games tonight. I think we covered them as in-depth as we possibly can. I will be tweeting second half plays if there's anything I like, and that's about it. We will be back for
and
tomorrow's
also,
card.
just real quick, I just wanted to give you an update on future since all these injuries in the NBA. We'd be remiss if we didn't mention that. With Steph Curry out now, Golden State's +150 on the futures to win the championship. Wow. Spurs are +180. Cleveland +325. Wow. That could be a dark horse. OKC +900. And Pistol Pete said if you put $1 on the Houston Rockets, that'll get you back 3,000 because they're plus 30,000. But for real, Golden State, keep in mind, plus 150, and the Spurs plus 180. So it's playoff time, and I'm ready to go, Pistol Pete.
Okay, sounds good. Tune in tomorrow.